All right. Hello. Happy Monday, everybody. I'll be doing my best to answer your unemployment, new stimulus bill, California EDD questions. Sometimes you guys comment that I'm not wearing any makeup. Today, I'm really not wearing any makeup and I'm a little tired. Cases are starting to come down in Los Angeles and we might be able to open the theater soon. So I was there for most of the day. So let's get into your questions. I'm going to go ahead and back up because there's only 31 of you, so I'm going to try and stay on track today. Okay, so we're going to start with Chris. Rumors are going around that we may not have to reopen a new claim if the year ends as worded in the new stimulus, or is it up to each state? So let's pause there at the first part of his question. So Chris, it's not, I don't know. I have not seen the language of the new bill. The language in the old bill says that if you qualify for a new claim, they have to put you on a new claim. However, when you call the EDD, they're going to tell you, they can check and see, and they can kind of bypass the whole process of applying for a new claim. And that is going to be faster than applying for a new claim. So while I don't know what's in this new bill, I still tend to think that they're going to at least want us to call and check if we're eligible for a new claim. And the reason why is because if we qualify for a new claim, that comes out of the state's budget, whatever state you live in. Most of us here are in California, but wherever you live, if you qualify for a new claim, that comes out of the state budget. But if you stay on an extension, that comes out of the federal budget. And the federal government would rather have us have that money come out of the state's budget. So that's what I think. I haven't seen the new bill, and I have been a little checked out today in terms of any new developments today because I've been at the theater. Okay. We saved having to pay back taxes out of the extra 300 and previous 600, and combined we make less than 35,000 a year. Furloughed from Disney. Disney gets to open April 1st, and from Disney since March last year. Please answer. Thanks. So, I think you're asking, are we saved from paying those taxes? So since you were furloughed in March, that means you got all of the $600 payments and all of those 300 LWA payments. This new stimulus bill, which hasn't passed yet, now they're not voting on it in the House, they say until Wednesday, so it's taking a little bit longer than expected. If it passes as it's written, it would forgive the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits, which is exactly the amount of all 17 payments of the extra $600. But everyone's tax situation is different, and I'm not a tax professional. A lot of people with children are actually getting refunds back anyway. And now that they're looking at forgiving that first 10,200, hopefully even more of us will not owe. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what do I do if I already filed my taxes? And we don't know the answer to that yet either. There is speculation that you would need to file an amendment, but it's also possible that the IRS would be able to do a calculation on their end and give us a refund if any was due. So we don't know yet, and that's the honest answer. I know that you guys wish that there was a definite answer, but there's not. I will say that I have not filed my taxes yet, and personally I'm going to wait. But there's also lots of news articles published that say that the longer you wait to file your taxes, the more chance there is that somebody could get a hold of like your name and social security number and file a fraudulent claim in your name. So, and then there's like other tax credits that might be more beneficial if you wait or file now. So it's really a personal choice. I'm personally going to wait. Dexter says, my claim year expires this coming Friday. What happens next? I'm on tier 2 extension with a balance. So again, my recommendation is to call. It's my understanding that once we all reach our benefit year end, that we are supposed to apply for a new claim. But if you hit the button, it's going to take longer than calling, because if you call, they're going to ask you some questions and or help you reapply on the phone. And if you don't qualify for a new claim, that's when they'll be able to keep you on the extensions. So I recommend calling. I know it's really hard to get through. I see Barbara's asking me some questions. She wants to know if there's a good number to call, and there's really not. I only recommend the 2 published numbers, and those are area code 833-978-2511 or 800-300-5616. And those numbers are just jam-packed. And everybody wants to know when's the best time to call. And there's all different theories. I've seen 8:01 a.m. I used to have good luck at 11 a.m., but that hasn't worked for me recently. I've had good luck right after 1 o'clock when maybe everybody's getting back from their lunch break. And then there's the sweet spot from like 4 to 6 p.m. I've heard people say. And then if you call back after 7, it's not going to work. Technically, they're open till 8, but they do, I think, stop letting people into the phone line so they can try and get to everybody that's in the phone system by 8 o'clock. So after 7's a no-go. Anyway, obviously we certify for benefits on Sunday. So Sunday's a heavy traffic day and Monday's a heavy traffic day trying to resolve issues from certifying. So maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday might be better. Maybe even Saturday, because most of the issues from the previous week should be resolved by then. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Chelsea says, can I apply for PUA if I was a student worker at a community college? I applied for regular unemployment, but they called me and said it's not going to work because I didn't pay taxes on my checks. That is a really strange call to get. You should be qualified for a PUA claim, I would think. But you might need to ask them about that and might need to enlist the help of your local assembly member. And how to find your assembly member is linked in the video description down below. Diego says, I don't understand why they added 11 weeks on January 10th if my claim expires on March 14th. That means I'll lose the last 2 weeks. So in reality, they added 9 weeks on my claim. So people are still getting like the we've added 11 weeks to your claim message. And I think it says up to 11 weeks. So that's how they get around that up to 11 weeks. Some people are not going to get the full 11 weeks. People are still getting that message today, and it does phase out on April 10th. So yes. And then, once your benefit year ends, then they're going to either have you reapply for a new claim or check to see if you qualify for a whole new claim. Or if Chris is right, maybe this new stimulus bill won't make us go through that step. I tend to think that they will, though. Jose says, that he commented this on my last video. Did the person who filed my tax return have to add the Cal EITC credit in it, or does that come automatically once you file? Because she didn't mention it. So it's possible that they didn't realize it. The Cal EITC credit would show up on the state refund portion of things. And if you qualified, that should be part of your return. That's just for the Cal EITC credit. That's not for the $600 Golden State stimulus check. So to qualify for the Golden State stimulus check, you need to have made less than $30,000 in adjusted gross income. And unfortunately, your unemployment benefits do count towards that adjusted gross income. And like I did the calculation, and for me, the actual Cal EITC amount was like $48. I was just doing like some test things. I actually don't think I'm going to get the Cal EITC credit at all. But I put in some numbers, and like you can get like a $48 Cal EITC credit. But as long as you get that credit, you would also qualify for the $600 Golden State stimulus check. That's a stimulus check of $600 that's specific to Californians, if anybody's watching that's not in California. And you would get that after you file your taxes. So it's possible that one, that hadn't even become a thing when you filed your taxes, and two, that the actual Cal EITC credit is just kind of blended in with your state refund. So you might not have specifically noticed that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't qualify for that credit because that will be sent separately, the $600. Myra says, I certify next on 3/21. My year ends 3/23. I'm on PEUC. Well, I still get the $300 boost on 3/21 while I certify. Will they send me a message to certify on 3/23? So this is all very interesting. First of all, that the new stimulus package hasn't passed yet, and we need that to pass in order to continue getting the $300 unemployment boost. That $300 unemployment boost from the last stimulus package has a hard stop date of the week ending March 13th that we certify for on March 14th. So until that new stimulus bill passes, that's going to be the last payment of the extra $300. And since the new stimulus package hasn't passed yet, we expect it to, and it looks like it's going to have an extra $300 a week boost. But it's possible, since again, they've delayed till practically the last minute, that we may see some gaps or delays in getting that extra $300. Okay, then you're asking, when will you certify again? Let's see, you're saying March 31st. Is that a Sunday? So March 21st is probably when you're going to certify for benefits. And if that's when your benefit year ends, after that's when you'd want to call them. And Jose, you're saying to Diego that that he'll get the 11 weeks. We don't know that until the new stimulus bill actually passes. They are looking at that, but it hasn't passed in the House again yet. And then it still needs to be signed into law by Biden. So we're waiting on that. And we're talking about the second PEUC extension that he's on. So he might not get 11 weeks of that second PEUC extension, but then the third PEUC extension should kick in. That would take you guys to September 4th. They're saying September 6th, but September 6th is like a Tuesday. You guys know that the EDD counts the work week as a Sunday through Saturday work week. So the last day will actually be September 4th that we would certify for on September 5th under the new stimulus bill. Then Joel says, I'm regular UI because I sent EDD 1099 earnings from Uber. I assume that I will get a zero claim balance because they will need the 1099s again. Will I just be put on a new Biden extension to 9/6? It's really going to depend. First of all, the Biden plan hasn't passed yet. We think it will, but the House needs to vote on it again since there were some amendments made in the Senate, and then Biden needs to sign off on it again. That will extend benefits. You're saying 9/6, which is the official language, but 9/4 is the last Saturday on that. And they may make you try and apply for a new claim once your benefit year is over. If you're regular unemployment, if you're PUA, they don't make you apply for a new claim. Pauline says, I have exhausted my benefit and it tells me to check back on 3/21. Does this mean I'm getting the extension? It should. If you're past your benefit year and you haven't opened a new claim yet, it's possible that when you certify on 3/21 that some of your weeks may get pending or not paid. And if that happens, then go ahead and call them. Hi, Vanessa. If the EDD cannot implement the new bill's rule on time, would we be put on FedEd after our benefit year ends? Is there another way to be extended to September? Isn't California unemployment rate still high? Yes, California unemployment rate is still high. So I don't know what will happen if the new bill is not in place in time to be rolled over onto the extension. But it would either be you're rolled over onto the extension or you're put on FedEd. If you're put on FedEd, how it worked this last time is they required you to use all the balance in your FedEd claim before they added on any additional weeks of PEUC. So if we're put on FedEd, that's how I imagine that will happen this time, that we would stay on FedEd till we use that entire balance. Then after we use our FedEd balance, then we could potentially qualify for PEUC. And you're saying after your benefit year ends, They may make us totally check to see if we qualify for a new claim. If we do qualify for a new claim, we wouldn't necessarily get the extension or Fed Ed. We would be placed on a whole new claim. But for a lot of people, we're not going to qualify for a whole new claim. And it's more of a formality that we need to get denied that new claim before they keep us on the extensions or let us draw down the rest of our Fed Ed. Okay. Okay. Q. Retracted their message. Jillian says, will you be showing us your exact steps of how you filed for a new benefit year? This way we can follow it and have a base idea of what to do when we call. Apparently calling is better. So Jillian, I do think calling is better, and that's what I had planned on doing. But you are very right that a step-by-step video on reapplying would be better. But here's the thing. I am not in the position where I could. So when you reapply, it's like totally reapplying for a whole new claim, which means that even though they should pay you from the date you first applied, it's going to take about 3 weeks to get that up and running. And then if you're denied the new claim, it can take a little while they put you back on the extension. And I'm not sure I can afford to wait. So I will try and write down the questions that they ask me when I'm on the phone, because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to call when my benefit year is over, which is what I am recommending to you guys as well. Ben says PUA claims are lucky because they don't have to file for a new benefit year. That is true. I wish the PEUC was this way. When Obama was president, didn't people get unemployment for 2 years? Never had to reapply. So Ben, you're right. Under the Obama administration, during the Great Recession, unemployment benefits lasted up to 99 weeks, and they called those people the 99ers. However, I have a video on that, like how long can unemployment last? And a lot of people who were 99ers said that it didn't happen smoothly, that there were lots of like stops and starts. So I would imagine that it happened somewhat similar, but they did eventually get unemployment benefits for 99 weeks, but I don't know how smoothly that happened even back then. Rasar says on EDD's website, it said that getting an awards letter of $0 for a new benefit year would just push us onto extensions. Yes, that is correct. And then you say, hopefully the one ending September 6th. And yes, that should be the case. But again, that extension hasn't passed yet. But really applying for a new claim is just a formality, guys. Uh-oh, and I lost my place. And I'm going to take a drink of water so you guys know what that means. If you haven't already, please like the video. Uh-oh. I'm going to read Ghostwriters because I see it. It says, only CalFresh here, folks. And I feel ashamed. I'm ashamed. Oh, what? No, please don't be ashamed. Is that what that says? Or are you responding to someone? My mom goes to the food bank. She has for a while. I see I Love Podcast comment. Thank you for stopping by to listen. Daniel Chambers gave me some red hearts. I appreciate that. Barbara says, happy Monday. Yes, I hope you guys are all having a good Monday. And I've almost figured out where I am. Oh. Rasar says, oh no, we did Rasar's. So now it's Ku. I'm not saying that right. KHU, her says, I'm on Fed Ed extension and mine expired 3/22. When should I file a new claim to avoid delays in payments? So that's actually interesting. A lot of people on Fed Ed are actually reporting that they're able to certify for benefits and get paid without actually having to reapply. So I tend to think that as long as you're able to certify and get paid, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you do want to call them after the end of your benefit year, you certainly could and see what they recommend. But I almost recommend just going ahead and certifying and get paid until your payments get stuck and then call. Claire, thank you for the donation. And your comment is you went from regular unemployment to PEUC, now PUA. If you were denied Fed Ed, do they tell you? Yes, they're supposed to send you a letter. And actually, if you went from PEUC to PUA, that should mean that you were denied Fed Ed. And most of the letters that I've seen are letters in the actual mail, but check your UI Online account because a lot of times they'll send you kind of the same letter in the mail that they issue you online. But yes, most people get a Fed Ed denial letter. And now people that were put on PUA are supposed to actually be put back on PEUC, which can change your weekly benefit amount. So now they're supposed to put you back on PEUC and kind of keep you on the extensions until they run out or until your benefit year ends and they see if you qualify for a new claim. Ray J says, when you file a new claim, do you have to go through the ID process? They have my birthday year incorrect. I'm terrified in how to fix it without screwing things up. My benefit year ends March 15th. So Ray J, please just call them. That's really going to be the easiest way. I don't know whether to tell them about the incorrect birthday year or not, but if you call them, I'm not sure that it triggers the ID verification. I'm not 100% sure that we're all going to have to verify ID if we hit the file a new claim button. But since you don't want to risk it, definitely in your case, call. And I'm sorry about that, and I hope it works out. Andrew says filing a brand new benefit year is a formality, but many of us will probably not be eligible for a new year. How confident are you that we will put on an extension based on an old claim? All right, Andrew, I am 100% confident that if you don't qualify for a whole new claim, that they will put you on the extension with a big, caveat. Is that the word? I don't know if it will happen seamlessly. I don't know if it will happen without issues. I am confident that if you're currently on unemployment and there's no issues with your claim, that if you don't qualify for a new claim, that they'll put you on the extension. That's the law. They have to do that. But do I think it will happen without hiccups? Not necessarily, which is why I recommend calling instead of filing a new claim. There's probably a ton of people that want to harm me for saying to call, because I know a lot of people are like, don't recommend them to call over everything because it's just going to clog up the lines when they don't need to. But the thing is, I don't want you guys to have to go through the trouble of reapplying, which could take 3 weeks, getting a denial letter, and then they still have to spend time putting you on the extensions. So that's why I'm recommending calling. And is calling going to be a pain in the butt because we're all running out of benefits at the same time? Absolutely. But I am 100% confident. I'm going to say that if you don't qualify for a new claim, as long as things are good with your current claim, that you should continue getting benefits on that. Dawn, thank you for the donation. Your question is, I am on PEUC. After 3/22/21, I will have a $0 balance. My benefit year ends 4/5/21. What will I need to do? Also, I have not worked. Okay, so a couple things going on with yours. First, you should still qualify for the PEUC 2 extension, which they're calling PEUX in a lot of cases. That would actually take you through the end of your benefit year. That would kind of be if the new stimulus package doesn't pass. If the new stimulus package passes, you might bypass PEUC 2 altogether and be put straight on PEUC 3, which would take you until September 6th. However, after 4/5 of 2021, they're most likely going to ask you to apply for a new claim and once your benefit year ends. But if you qualify, you'll just get a whole new claim. If you get denied, that's when they'll keep you on the extension until September 6th. I hope that, really September 4th, that we'll certify for on September 5th. I hope that answers your question. And thank you for the donation. You guys don't have to donate. I know we're all unemployed. I know I'm only about 20 minutes behind in the comments. Okay. Scarlett, you are welcome. Linda, there's been confusion on whether or not the new bill will require us to file a new benefit year if he signs it by the end of this week. But doesn't the Department of Labor tell the EDD the rules? Linda, you know your stuff. That is absolutely correct. So there's going to be a wait in that. And he was like, Linda, I don't know if you were watching earlier, but we don't know. So I want to make that clear. And I have a viewer that does not like when I speculate. My speculation is that they're going to make us all go through the rigmarole, the formality of applying for a new claim, because all these extensions are 100% federally funded, and they don't really want that. They would prefer that we qualify for a whole new claim and have that come out of the state budget if possible. So I really think that's still going to happen. Now, if you mean, well, like I hit $0 on exactly March 13th, that I'll certify on March 14th. And that's also when my benefit year ends. So I'm wondering, will the wheels have already started turning to put me on Fed Ed, or will I stay on the extension? And that I don't know. But I feel like they're going to make us go through the process of applying for a new claim. That's just my gut level instinct. Okay, Daquan says, everyone liked the video. Thanks. Thank you guys. Please like the video. I would appreciate that. Okay, and Guillermo says, I filed my taxes and it's on hold till the bill passes. Okay, so that's fine. If it's on hold and you don't want to put it all the way through, that's certainly okay. Sounds like a good idea to me. Emily, you were in here yesterday. If you were furloughed before COVID and getting unemployment on extension, do they get the boost as well, or just regular UI amount and no boost? You should get the extra boost as long as you're getting any money from unemployment. As long as you're getting $1 from unemployment, it does not matter the reason or when you are unemployed, but if you get $1 this week from unemployment, you should also get that $300 boost. John Geo says, do you know when we will be getting the stimulus check? No, it hasn't even fully passed yet. People are saying that we'd get that $1,400 maybe by the end of March. That seems a little optimistic to me. I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to the first couple of weeks of April. But we're not sure because the whole thing hasn't passed yet. Okay. Thank you, Daquan. Daquan, you are awesome. What a supportive person. I appreciate that. And Juan, thank you for the donation. I will be on the lookout for your question. Ghostwriter says hello. Manuel says hello. Andy says, I still don't understand what is after Fed Ed. I already tried to open a new account because my year had ended, but didn't qualify for a new one. After Fed Ed, I don't know what is next. So it really depends on when your benefit year ends. Not your benefit year. When that new stimulus package is passed and when you run out of Fed Ed benefits. So right now, if you ran out of Fed Ed this past Sunday, they would put you on the PEUC X, PEUC-T, PEUC-2 extension, and that would last you through April 10th. But we're hoping that the new stimulus bill passes, and then basically they just keep you on extensions as long as they pass in the federal government. So that's what we're hoping for. So now you stay on extension. So after Fed Ed, it depends on when you run out of Fed Ed, but it's going to be some sort of PEUC extension for you. Sorry, for those of you who have been around on my channel, want to take a drink of water if you guys could like the video. Georgia says, I'm from Arizona. I have called EDD for the past 6 months. They don't answer. I only go by your updates. Any advice? If you're from Arizona, it might not be the EDD. And not every state has assembly members, but definitely try the assembly members. Make sure, Georgia, that you're calling the right unemployment office. I'm not sure what it's called in Arizona, but you want to make sure that you're calling the right office. And also just Google Arizona government representatives, Arizona local representatives, and get in contact with them and let them know that you haven't been paid. It may not be called an assemblyman or assembly member or assemblywoman. It may just be like your senator, your governor, your mayor. Call everybody in government and let them know that you're having trouble getting paid. You guys are all encouraging everybody to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. And that was Manuel asking, we're reminding people to do that. Veronica says, I want to know if I don't have enough money to cover the extra $300 per week and the rest of my claim, am I still going to get it? while I go into an extension, or is that the end of it? So that's a really good question, Veronica. A lot of people think that the $300 is shown in your claim balance amount. It's not. So that's extra. So like for me, I have 1 week left in my claim. I get the maximum amount. I get 450. So it shows that my claim balance is $450. But you'll also get that boost. The boost amount is not included in what you see on your UI Online homepage when you log on. So yes, as long as you get anything from unemployment, that will also come with the $300 boost. So you should be okay. Hongaroo. I like that name. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's cute. What about the people who have filed their 2020 taxes already? So again, we don't know. And I don't want to steer you guys the wrong way. There's some talk that you would need to file an amended return, and there's other talk that the IRS would be able to do a calculation on their end, and if you were owed a refund, you would just get it. And honestly, that's the way I hope they go. But this hasn't even fully passed in Congress yet. But the reason why I hope it's just some back-end calculation that the IRS does is because a lot of people have already filed their taxes, and I believe you have to pay to file an amendment. And then like if you have to file an amendment, it seems like it's going to take a long time. So while I'm really glad that they're going to forgive this dollar amount on our taxes, I don't want any, like it defeats the purpose if you have to spend some of the money to file an amendment. So we don't know yet, but I'm hoping that the IRS is able to do it on the back end. The other option is really that we might need to file an amendment. Drizzy says, I ain't got paid yet. Still letting me certify, but no money issued. I used to think that was smacking my head, but it's shaking my head. It says stop payment indicator after I uploaded all my proof of income. So you are definitely going to want to call them about that. That probably means that you're going to have a phone interview. It also could mean that like you're past your benefit year. So they do put a stop payment indicator on your claim when and some people on FedEd haven't had a problem, but some people have. So for example, if you're on FedEd, but your benefit year is over and the computer catches that, it can put a stop payment indicator on your claim. And basically it just does that while you're rolled over into a next extension or different extension, or while they see if you qualify for a new claim. So, but Drizzy, you're going to want to call them and also enlist the help of your assembly member, and that link's in the description down below, to find out exactly why they put that stop payment indicator on there. Ghostwriter says, thank you, or God bless you, Shelly. So thank you very much. Andy says, if we certify on the 14th, do we still receive the extra $300, or how many payments of the $300 do we get? Yes, we still get the extra $300 payment when we certify on the 14th. The last week for that is this coming Saturday that we'll certify on Sunday. That includes that. Now, if you don't certify again until the 21st, you would still get it for the week ending March 13th. So if you don't certify till the 21st, you would still get it, but only for 1 week, unless the new stimulus bill passes and everything's up and running and they're able to pay it on the second week, because it is supposed to stay $300, but it hasn't passed yet. Okay. Coffee Lover, I like that name too, says, if I qualify for a new claim after PEUC expires, but the amount is lower, do I have to ask them to keep me on PEUC, or is it automatic? Woohoo, that is a loaded question. So what Coffee Lover is talking about is, and I don't think this applies to FedEd, the EDD says, per the Department of Labor, the DOL, that if when you file a new unemployment claim and you qualify, but your benefit amount goes down by more than $25, that they're supposed to keep you on the extension. And Coffee Lover, I don't know. That is supposed to be automatic, but like so many things with the EDD, it's not automatic. So if you're calling them anyway, and they're seeing if you qualify for a new claim, and they tell you that you do, maybe ask them what the benefit amount is. Say, oh, is that going to be the same weekly benefit amount? And if they say, oh, no, it's going down to X amount, say, oh, well, I thought that I was supposed to stay on the extension then at my higher amount, and see what they tell you. unfortunately, in that kind of thing, my confidence in a lot of these reps is not, or the EDD in general, is not real high. Hopefully it'll be automatic. Michael says, I don't qualify for a new claim. I haven't worked for 2 years. Do I still qualify for the new extension? You should, although the new extension hasn't totally passed yet. But yeah, they are probably going to make you, they're going to make you tell them that you haven't worked in 2 years. They should be able to see that right away on the phone and then keep you on the extension. That is how that's supposed to work. Black Jade 101 says, I was able to certify for March 7th. I have now been pending for 4 weeks. I have no idea why. My original claim expired 1/24. The only good news is that I did receive 2 weeks back pay from January. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you received some back pay. It could be that your original claim expired and the computer system caught up with that and has it stuck in pending. So you guys, there's always 4 steps that I recommend. So Black Jade, you're probably going to want to do all these. One is call them and find out why it's pending. 2 is ask EDD. 3 is the contact us button, and 4 is get your assembly member involved. So I like emailing the assembly members instead of calling. That way there's a written trail. That way they can't say, oh, I never got a call. Like, you will be like, here is the proof in the email that I contacted you on this date. And this is what my assembly member told me. That way, heaven forbid you guys ever need to do an appeal, but it is right there with dates and what you were told. So what I would say is, I have been pending for more than 4 weeks. I have not been paid. It is creating a financial hardship for me since I haven't gotten paid in that time. I don't know what's wrong with my account. Can you please help me? And most of the time, the assembly members respond within 48 hours. And if it is something that they can help with, it often clears up within 4 days. And thank you again. I love podcast. Ghostwriter says, hey, Nancy says, can you talk about the people whose FedEd is running out, please? So that's a couple of things. Are you talking about your benefit year ending? Some people are being able to certify and get paid past their benefit year if you're on FedEd. It's supposed to make you reapply once your benefit year is over. So if your benefit year is over and you do need to reapply, if you're denied a new claim, and a lot of us are going to be, it's really a formality, then they would allow you to draw down the rest of your balance on FedEd, and that's when they'd put you on the extensions. Right now, because that new stimulus bill has not officially passed, there's only an extension that would be available through April 10th, and that's the second PEUC extension that they're calling PEUX. So you should be able to get that through the week ending April 10th. And then beyond that, it would need to have the new stimulus bill pass. And as long as that new stimulus bill does pass, it looks like it's going, they say through September 6th, but really the last day is going to be September 4th. Victor says, why are people saying that we should wait before doing taxes? So in the new stimulus bill, which hasn't passed yet, we think they're going to vote on it in the House. Today's Monday, Wednesday. We think they're going to vote on it in the House Wednesday. Biden might not sign it into law until Thursday. Then it's going to take a little while to get the tax software updated. But in that new bill, if it passes, they're looking at forgiving the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits that we got. And for me, I'm single with no kids. So I thought I was going to pay about $1,200. I have not filed my taxes yet. And that's they're estimating 10%, which is kind of what the EDD has been withholding out of our weekly benefit amount, but not the boost. So $10,200 is approximately like, what is that? $1,020 in taxes that I wouldn't owe. So I might owe $180. So they're saying to wait because you'd much rather only owe $180 versus $1,200. And for even people with kids or that are already getting refunds, that would probably mean that you're getting a bigger refund by $1,020. And so you'd want a bigger refund. So that is why they're saying to wait. But there's other scenarios where you want to go ahead and file right away. So it's really still a personal choice, and I'm not a tax advisor. Hi, Daniel, with the green hearts. Gina says, quick question. What if I already filed my 2020 taxes? What should I do? So we don't know yet. They might make us amend it, but I'm hoping that they don't, because it is possible that the IRS might just be able to make an adjustment on their end and then issue you any difference in what you're owed. And that's really what I'm hoping they do, because it's my understanding that you have to pay to file an amendment, and I don't want any of my viewers to have to spend any more money on this. Nike says, I seen that I qualify for PEUC. My account went to 0, but now I'm back to where I can see I can certify again. Only thing is I don't see the amount I had before it went to 0. So that's kind of normal. As you go from one extension to the next, your claim balance goes all the way down to 0. Then sometimes you get the maximum benefits paid message. Then you can certify again. And then I feel like it's after you certify that you see your claim balance go up. So totally normal. By the time you certify again, either right before you certify or right after, your claim balance should go back up. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. So that means like the video, please. Lisa, you're welcome. Charlene, my claim expired and I ran out of Fed Ed. I was told to open a new claim, but I haven't heard anything. Called EDD and they say they still don't even see my new claim yet. What do I do? Maybe ask if they can help you file a new one over the phone. It does take about 3 weeks for them to get your new claim and see what's going on with them. Michael H. says that he's thankful for this information. You are very welcome. I appreciate all you guys. And somehow I'm now 35 minutes behind on the comments. So if I don't get to your question, that might be why. I am pretty exhausted. I'm not sure how much past the hour I'll go. I also promised my friend that I would go pick up this Little Caesars, has like some kind of pizza with pretzel crust, which is probably exactly what I don't need. I already had to buy new work pants because I gained too much weight, but it is what it is. Okay, back to the questions. Nyland says, I got my last check next week on the 11-week extension. Will I get an extension until September also? We should, as long as that passes. And I will also say that at this point, since it hasn't passed, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to update all those computer programs. Maddie Man 5 says, on the surface, it would seem calling would be a nightmare. Correct. But if they don't screw up funding PUA claims, it should only be traditional UI people calling. Should be a lot less traffic. That's true, but I think there's over 1 million of us that all pretty much filed on March, that all our benefit years is ending March 13th. But you're right, it won't be the PUA people, but 1 million people. And I think they said there's like 4,000 phone reps. I'll do the math on that. I love math. I know I'm a weirdo. I want to do it like right now, but I won't because I want to get to your questions. They don't have enough people answering the phones to help all of us is my concern. It's great. Okay. Drizzy is saying that they did pass it. Just going to go to the Republicans too to make the decision, which they will pass, and then go to Biden. So it passed in the House, but that was with the $400 a week through August 29th. So then when it went to the Senate, and I think it was all of them, they all agreed on this, the Democrats and the Republicans, they changed it to $300 a week, but now it goes to September 6th, but really it's only going to go to September 4th. Now it goes back to the House because there were changes that were made to it. So since there were changes that were made to it, the House has to vote on it all over again, and then Biden still has to sign off on it. Mare Bear says, Meet Kevin is saying to wait even if you filed taxes rather than do an amendment. That is correct, Mare Bear. Totally correct, because it's possible that the IRS will take care of things on their end, that they can do an adjustment without making us file an amendment. And that's what I'm hoping. So I agree with Meet Kevin. I like Meet Kevin. I'm actually I'm a member of like his YouTube course and I like listening to him talk about stock. Anyway, Bree says, I can't activate my EDD card. My account has been under review for a month now. Bank of America rep says it's happening to a lot of people. They said that the EDD has to send a document over saying they can release the money. So that may be true, Bree, and all of that's a mess. The EDD is probably going to say no. So I have a couple recommendations for you. The first is to call the EDD, but to see if they can send you a paper check, if that's something that you're open to, because it seems to be a nightmare to get the EDD or the Bank of America to unfreeze your account. So while you're waiting for that to happen, if the EDD sends you paper checks, at least you have access to the new weeks that you're certifying for. The second thing I'm going to suggest is to contact your assembly member and let them know what's going on. But yeah, all of the advice that I'm hearing is that this is actually on the Bank of America side of things, but they might need like a push to get it done. If there is some paper, maybe your assembly member can help the EDD send that to the Bank of America so you can get paid. But it is worth calling them and maybe switching to paper checks. Oh, Nyland, I did, but I'm just 40 minutes behind in the questions. Chris says Disneyland unions are in negotiation, and if we will reopen, it's not a done deal yet. Pending if we get a new surge late March could change everything. So having EDD unemployment is still critical. That's interesting. Yeah, so you guys also have to move into the red tier, just like movie theaters, but those numbers are coming down. Like we're preparing to reopen. Boy, we're going to have to throw out a lot of stuff because it's a year old. That's what I was doing today, like making sure that we're good with our vendors and seeing if anything was still good. I ate a chocolate bar that said it was expired, and obviously I wouldn't sell that, but it was tasty. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I definitely didn't eat that chocolate. I just opened it to make sure it was not sellable. We have to keep all our damages. It's interesting. I'm probably letting out way too many theater secrets that I'm going to get in trouble for. Okay. Georgia says, will 2020 TurboTax Deluxe include updates for unemployment tax break in the new bill? So I hope so, but we don't know. And it would take time. So first of all, the new stimulus bill hasn't passed, which I've said a million times. You guys get it. But it's also going to take time to do those programming updates. I don't even have a guess on what that timeline could be. I've heard that it's going to be a mess since we're already in the middle of tax season. But I would imagine that at some point they would be able to do that. They're considering, this is not a done deal, but there's whispers, there's talk of potentially pushing back the deadline to file taxes this year because of everything that's going on. So we're going to have to see about that as well. Chris H says, currently on Fed Ed extension, but haven't had anything updated. Any recommendations? So what do you mean by haven't had anything updated? If you're still able to certify and get paid, I tend to think just go ahead and keep on with that. If any of your weeks get stuck on pending or not paid, that's when you want to call and tell them that maybe your benefit year is ending and see, what the next step is. Or what hasn't updated? Is it your claim balance? I don't know. I hope it updates. I hope everything works out. Snowsurf says, one thing I just noticed, my benefit year is July 7th. So that's good. That's one day after my birthday. I'm going to be $1 million. I'm going to be Shelly's millions. I thought I was the same as you for my benefit year-wise, March. But it's July, but I'm still out of benefits as of next Sunday. So I believe I'm out of benefits next Sunday too. So what I believe will happen is that you should still be eligible for that second PEUC extension. If not, then we're hoping that the new stimulus bill would pass. They would put you right into PEUC and 3, and then you would be able to certify under that. Barbara, thank you for the little sticker that came with a donation. Please, Barbara, quit donating. I know you're so nice. You're so sweet. And it's a super cute sticker. And Cecilia, thank you for the donation. Again, nobody has to donate, but I do appreciate it. Says, according to the qualifications, I think I'd get more if I reapply. End date is 3/15 on FedEd with a balance. Should I keep collecting FedEd or reapply? That's interesting. If you could get more, is everybody, when their benefit year ends, I'm not recommending personally that anybody push the reapply button. It might actually be there for a lot of people. I'm recommending everybody call. And I know that calling is a giant pain in the butt, but that's what I would recommend doing. Cecilia, I would call them and I would say, hey, I'm on FedEd, but my benefit year is ending. I understand that I'm supposed to apply for a new claim. Can you help me do that over the phone? And I actually think that I would qualify for a higher weekly benefit amount. So if you qualify for a larger weekly benefit amount, it seems to me that it would be worth making that call. But you guys all know that calling is a pain. But yeah, especially if your benefit amount is bigger, I would try and qualify for that new claim. But by calling, not by hitting the button. That's just my recommendation. Ugh. And I wish that it wasn't so hard to get through. Let's see here. Oh, Ghost Rider says tomorrow the new stimulus bill was passed. Now they're talking about Wednesday though. Shells. Is that your name? I don't know. That's people call me that. What about when your claim year ends? Do we reapply? Yes, but do it by phone because it's just going to be faster once you get through. It's going to be a pain to get through, but once you get through, you're going to be glad that you did it by phone instead of using the reapply button. Tina says, I did my taxes at H&R Block. I had to pay $300 just to get it done for her to tell me that I owe the IRS. Yeah, which is why I'm hoping that we won't have to do an amendment because I think that there's a fee for that too. So I'm hoping that they get that sorted out on their end. Joshua, what does the new stimulus bill for taxes do? Is it for 2020? It is for 2020, and it forgives the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits, which is essentially all 17 weeks of that $600 boost. Oh my God, guys. I'm going to start scrolling a little bit. Neeland, I did answer yours. Thank you, Michael, for saying nice things about Jenny and I and for being honest and helpful. Mermaid Girl, how long does it take to get paid after speaking to a tier 2 rep? I have 2 weeks paid, not paid since January. He said that he was able to fix it, but nothing is updated. It's already been 4 days. So my boss actually had an issue and he said to wait like 7 business days. So maybe wait 7 business days. And if it still hasn't fixed, get your assembly member involved because they can often fix that. Yes, Josie, the forgiveness on taxes is for UI and PUA, but it's for 2020. They haven't talked about it for 2021 yet. You guys are chatting with each other. Danielle says, I'm still waiting for my claim to be processed to be able to certify for benefits, but I was on hold for 3 hours today and called the EDD and they said that they will put me through to an EDD specialist and you're waiting. Are you still waiting? They close at 8. I hope you get through today and I hope they're able to fix it. What if I already got my refund and you paid? So Daniela, that's why we're hoping it happens on the back end and it has not officially passed yet. So that's the first thing that happens. Brian, will Fed Ed, but then you've got in parentheses 11 weeks, be extended? So those are different things. Fed Ed's tied into the unemployment rate and actually lasts for 20 weeks right now. So yes, hypothetically, if the new stimulus bill didn't pass, you would have the option of going into Fed Ed, which would last potentially up to, there's that word, up to 20 weeks. Eater says, I just hit 0 balance. How can I get my first extension? It should be automatic, but because they're so backlogged, a lot of people are having to call. And I am going to skip around. Celebrity Plus says, do you think we can collect UI boost till 2022? I don't know. Right now in the new stimulus bill, it's only looking like it's going to go through September 6th. And let's see here. Man, I always think I don't advertise these unemployment lives anymore. Oh, Barbara's asking what is PEUX? That is what some of the reps are calling the second PEUC extension. So for those of us like myself that got unemployed really early in March of 2020, we had our first 26 weeks of unemployment. Then we had 13 weeks of PEUC. It's really on the flow chart and everything, it's still just called PEUC. We got an additional 11 weeks, but some of the reps are referring to it as PEUX, which, as far as I can tell, is not an official term. And even under payment type, if you're on the second PEUC extension on your claim history under UI Online, it says extension tier 2. It doesn't say PEUC or PEUX. That's what that is. Huck, could you please tell me the usual wait on EDD back request? Put in 3 weeks ago and I've not heard back. So it should be fairly soon. 3 weeks is about the usual time. And Kevin, thank you for the donation. You got the 11-week extension. If the bill passes that extends to September, will extend to September. I started my benefit last year at April 10th. So yes and no. We haven't seen the final language of the bill. I believe that after April 12th rolls around for you, that they're going to make us see if we qualify for a whole new unemployment claim. But that's really just a formality, because if you don't qualify for a whole new claim, that's when they should keep you on the extension through September 12th. I'm looking at your April 12th date through September 6th, but really the 4th. And thank you again for the donation. I hope that answered your question. Oh, okay. Well, I accidentally jumped all the way down to the very end of the comments. So I'm going to scroll just a little bit. Oh, Diamond Pikachu. I love your name and I love the unicorn sticker. If you have a question, please ask me again. Barbara gave me a sticker. Sometimes it doesn't put the little stickers at the top and I don't see them. Oh, Diamond Pikachu, I think I found your question. It says, I just filed my taxes today for the 1099 EDD with Independent. I got a big refund, including the $600 that I didn't receive. Okay, so that's awesome. I don't see a question from you, though, but that's really good. And if this new stimulus bill passes, hopefully you'll get even more back. Veronica's reminding everybody to like the video. You guys are so great. I appreciate all of you, and I really wish that none of you were having, and Spider-Man, you the man, because you did the math. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys, and I hope that I wish that none of you guys had any issues ever on your claims. So the 1 million of us on our claims who are all going to expire next week on March 13th, divided by 4,000 reps is 250. So let's divide that by a week. What's 250 divided by 7? I think maybe they can get through to us. Okay, so that means 250 divided by 7. And that would be 35 calls a day. I feel like a rep can do 35, but they're saying each call takes 30 minutes. So that would be 1,071 minutes of calls divided by 60. Oh, no, I'm getting that would be almost 18 hours of calls. I guess they can't do 18 hours of calls. But probably not everyone will call, even though that's what I'm recommending. Okay, sorry. Thank you for doing the math on that. 0629 baby girl says, I've been waiting for 8 weeks. I applied January 4th when I was let go from my job. They gave me a severance check of $885 after taxes to hold me until I was approved by unemployment. That should be good. There is a section to report severance pay, but I believe that shouldn't lower your amount once everything gets set up. Kids Yummy says that they did not get their stimulus check. So if you didn't, you're supposed to get it when you file your taxes. Kingdom Shifters said, I still haven't got the extension and tried calling, and they told me yesterday that I needed a specialist to approve. Please advise. So reach out to your assembly member, because sometimes they have channels that can help that get pushed through. And if you need a specialist, why didn't they transfer you to one? That annoys me. Like, you spent all that time calling and they didn't transfer. Esther says, have you guys been looking for work? And then a laughing face. I haven't, because I have, but half-heartedly, except for that one job that I didn't hear about. because I've been furloughed and now it looks like we might actually reopen. Same with the guy in the Disney union. Like in theory, he has a job to go back to and the work requirement is waived. And guys, you guys know that I like to be truthful. So this week I hit yes that I had looked for employment, but then I did hit skip on the other questions and I got paid just fine. Like where you would actually enter your job searches. And I didn't look because there's a lot of stuff going on with the movie theater this week. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Somebody got through in 2 minutes. That is amazing. Risa says, I'm making $300 a week and my weekly benefit amount is $152. Does my part-time wages disqualify on PEUC? Most likely it does. So you're allowed, they don't count the first 25% of what you make. So 300 times 0.25. So they don't count the first, $75. I could have done that in my head. I'm tired, you guys. But since that's more than sorry. That is too much to qualify you. Carrie's saying Jenny is married with kids. We always end up talking about, Freddie, just ask your question again. I'll look for yours, Freddie. Karen says, hi, Freddie. Oh, ask your question again. Shh. You know what? You guys all have preferences and that's fine. I really like Jenny. We've done some collaborations. We each have like our own style and I totally love that. You guys don't have to like us both equally. A lot of us you guys have preferences and that's totally fine. A lot of times Jenny gets her videos out earlier than me. Jenny, I really respect her hustle, like we both have a little bit different vibes. So whatever you guys like. Yes, Kingdom Shifters. Thank you for that donation. Gomes says, why is my payment still showing pending? It could be for a lot of different reasons, but you're probably going to need to call. New to this here says, great job. You are welcome. Andrew says, PUA doesn't need to reapply. Sorry, I should probably say that like every single time. PUA people are not going to have to reapply when their benefit year is over. And Sharon, thank you. Like, I'm going to take that compliment. If some of you guys prefer me, that's okay as well. But a lot of you guys prefer Jenny. Some of you guys like us equally. Some of you guys like it when we both tell you the same information because it makes you feel a little bit better. And all of that's okay. YouTube is a big place and there's room for Jenny and I. I'd really like to overtake some of the boys like Andrew Cartwright or Meet Kevin or I don't know who else, but like, yeah, I'd like for Jenny and I to tackle some of that boys club. Yes. Yeah. If you guys have time for both, do both. Sylvia, if it says to reapply, I would call them. That's what I would do. And Lou, you're welcome. Let's see. Chris says, Chris, you've been in here the whole time. Thank you for watching this whole time. You are awesome. Regarding the $10,200 tax relief, does it apply to individuals or households? What if you and your spouse were both unemployed in 2020? That would be important to know. Both combined under $35,000. Chris, I'm not a tax professional, so I don't know. That is a really good question. I would think that you could combine that, but I don't know. I would think like, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to be on the lookout for that. As soon as they release anything, I will try and make a video about that. Ursula. Hello, Ursula. Oh, there was a glitch with your unemployment and it skipped 1 week of non-payment. Is this normal? They won't pay you for the glitch week. They should, but you might have to call. Yeah, Spider-Man, we're all subscribe to the same people. Jenny Silver, Meet Kevin, because he does a lot of stimulus. Zarqua, I hope I said your name right. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Your PUA ends 410. Yesterday you called and they said they received more months. And they said that you didn't have to reapply. Yes, PUA doesn't have to reapply. I don't think that the stimulus bill has totally passed, but we are expecting it to, and then it will last through September. Lourdes, thank you. Karen, PUA doesn't have to reapply. Yes. Karen, and you're awesome. I know you watch Jenny's channel too. You guys are all awesome, and you're supportive of both of us, and it's really awesome and refreshing. And it's also like Jenny's doing so many great things, and like her hustle, she's got kids. I really don't know how she does it. She's got a lot of energy, I guess. You're welcome. Freddie, I see your question. I'm going to answer it, and we're at 1 hour and 4 minutes. So Freddie's question is probably going to be the last one. Yusuf, though, wants to know if I think there's going to be a delay. I think that is very possible. Okay, so Freddie, your PEUC 13 weeks ran out to 0 on January 31st, 2021, along with your benefit year. You reapplied like they wanted online. When you called, they said that since I haven't worked that year, I can't get the 11-week PEUC extension. So that is wrong, as far as I know. What I know, Freddie, is that when you reapplied and they said you didn't qualify, that's when they should continue to let you draw down your Fed Ed, but you said that was at 0. That's when they're supposed to add on that 11-week PEUC extension. So you definitely want to call them again. And I'm smiling because I see Ursula's thing. I thought that was ducks, but I don't think it's a duck. Oh, it's a little video game controller with sunglasses. Anyway, Freddie, call them and say, hey, I didn't qualify for a new unemployment claim, but I understand that you're supposed to keep me on the extension. They should give you those 11 weeks. Dave is saying, I don't like the word shut up, but Dave, if you have a question, okay, Dave and Shadon, I see you all the time in the comments. So if you have a question, I would really like to get to it. Yes, I appreciate the donations. Thank you, Ursula. You guys are awesome, but don't donate because it like seriously makes me feel awkward. But Shadon, I would really like to get to your question because I absolutely see you in the comments on my videos, and I appreciate you. So if I skip your question, it's certainly not intentional. I love podcasts. I go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. and Monday at 6 p.m. Spider-Man, don't worry about donating. You don't need to donate. Shadon, what is your question though? Because I did miss it. And Freddie, you're welcome. It may just be taking a long time for them to roll you to add those 11 weeks, but they should be adding the 11 weeks of PEUC. And yeah, you're supposed to get the $0 benefit award letter in order for them to keep you on the extension. Kingdom Shifters, you're saying how long will it take to get approved? You got the notification on 2/22 and the 14th business day is Wednesday 3/10. How can you speed up the approval? Calling and emailing your assembly member, and the link on how to find your assembly members in the description. Some of the stuff though can't be speeded up, but like really calling the assembly member is one of the best ways I've found to get things done. Shadon, I want to try and find your question, but I don't see it. I see where you said I missed it. You guys, if I do miss your question, like feel free to call me out on it and be like, you missed my question, but then just like re-ask your question. Just be like, you missed my question, so I have to ask it again. Because I am not the best with scrolling these comments. Oh, and Ursula, I don't know if sometimes I lose my train of thought. Ursula, if I did not finish my train of thought, call them. They should pay you on that missing week, but it might involve a call. And also the assembly members should be able to help with that as well. Just say, hey, like I got paid okay, but they skipped some weeks and they don't appear to be fixing it. Is there anything that you can help me to get paid? Shadon. Okay, Kingdom Shifters. You have the maximum benefits paid on your claim, but you're within your benefit year. There's no extension as of now. I'm in queue for processing. I logged in today and nothing. So yeah, they are backlogged on that. I was told that calling that they would be able to add the extension. So I'm not sure why they told you that. But you can wait, but I think they're backlogged pretty far. So I thought that all those reps were able to take care of it for you over the phone. Shadon, I am not seeing your question. So I'm going to scroll down again. You may have left. Shoot. Teresa, I see you asking a couple times. So I'll do yours and then it's going to be the last one. I see that you're also saying that you've sent it 3 times. So I do see that and I'm going to do yours and that'll be the last one unless Shadon pops in and asks it again. My husband's EDD online claim keeps telling him to reopen his claim. We've done that 5 times to no avail. He has not collected 1 check. I'm not having any luck getting the EDD on the phone. Suggestions. Yeah, I don't know why that reopen claim button is popping up for some people multiple times. I will say that as impossible it is to get through the phone, that should be an easy fix for them to take care of once you get through. But that's also something that's easy for your assembly member to help you with. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing that, but it is a nice way. Your assembly member usually gets back to you within 48 hours, the initial contact. And then after they get back to you, they often fix whatever's wrong on the claim in about 4 days. So the link on how to find them is in the description of this video. Oh, Lena, you're saying that somebody told you that they can't manually do it. There are different levels. Maybe they couldn't manually do it. Anyway, so Teresa, that should be, I know it's impossible to get through, but either keep trying to call and get through or enlist the help of your assembly member, and that should really help. Live your life. We're going to do yours because you did a donation. I hope that answered though. Oh, Lou, you got hung up on. I got hung up on too. So that sucks. I relate to that. Live your life. I received 2 letters, one for unemployment and comma, the PEUC. Okay. And Freddie, I see you're putting in Shadon's question for her. So I will answer that and maybe we can get that information back to her. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys are all helping with Shadon's question. Okay. Let me do live your lives. And then I'm going to, I see the scissors and the pins. I hope that's not like murder me and stab me with pins. Anyway, you guys wouldn't do that because you're nice. One for UI, comma, the PEUC. So I'm not quite sure. So, oh no, connection lost. Am I here? I think I'm still going, so I'm going to keep talking. So the UI should be one thing, and maybe it's just already telling you qualify for the PEUC. That's for Live Your Life, and thank you for the donation. Okay, Freddie says, Shadon asked if you're supposed to report COVID pay when it closed to the EDD. Does she need to report her COVID pay to EDD after they closed down? Probably. So I didn't see the original question. But so for example, my business closed down, but if I was given some sort of severance pay or something like that. So the question would be, did you work or earn any other wages? You actually put no to that question, but then on the second page, it's like you indicated that you did not work or earn any wages. How about all these things? And then it says like severance pay, WARN pay, royalties, sick pay. So that's where you would put like the severance pay or any money that they were given from like probably any kind of extra pay that they got. So that's how you would do that, is kind of on that second section. So you weren't working to get that money, but you were paid. So no to did you earn any money, but then when you're on the second page, you'd find the situation that most clearly relates to your situation, and that's where you would enter the. I hope Shadon hears that. Okay. Oh, you are. Yes. So on that second section, and just find the one that's the closest to your situation, whether that be severance pay or vacation pay or whatever that is. So that's what I would do. That's what I think. So no to did you work or earn any other wages? But then when it gives you that page where it asks you like all those other things like 401k, cash out, or like stock, that the one with that big list of stuff that like we don't normally get, but you might get like once in a while, that's where I would put that in. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry that I missed it, but I'm glad everybody got your attention and helped to get your question out there. Gloria, thank you. Jen says I reported a bonus, but now I'm pending for 3 days. So that really shouldn't cause you to be pending. But definitely anytime you're pending more than 72 hours, it's not normal. So call. And Ace Aesthetic is saying, does PEUC reapply? You might need to at the end of your benefit year. I do recommend calling. It's PUA, which is traditionally those people who are self-employed that don't need to reapply. Jenny, I'm going to do yours. Jenny with a J, which is how my mom spells it, not Jenny with a G, who also does the unemployment videos that you guys love, says, we make over 150K and claim both my parents on our income tax. When would they get the stimulus check? I don't know. Also, since you make more than 150, I'm not sure if you get it for the adult dependents based on your income threshold. I wish I had a better answer for you for that, but check with your tax professional. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go pick up this weird little Caesar's pizza with the pretzel crust. It's probably gross and definitely not good for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. and then again Monday nights at 6 p.m. That's it for me today, you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.